Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular here at Mr. Super Oz, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. It exists because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. If you follow the link in the description of this video, you can get yourself hats, shirts, posters, all kinds of fun things. But most importantly, you can get the story itself. And the more people that pick up the story, the greater the chances are that there can be continued adventures with these heroes. Thank you. After that open rolls, enjoy the video. If you could, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Enjoy. Can you believe we're in the month of April, sir?
Man, time flies when you're having fun.
Well, I mean, April of 2002, so not
the
really any
time
of
flies backwards.
Yeah, time is flying backwards. I like that. What do you have on your first roll of April, sir?
A lot of prepping for the pay-per-view. So the first 2 weeks, we're basically establishing the company.
Yes.
Not just our shows, but the company. So now we're Raw with the first pay-per-view of Alpha Entertainment Worldwide history. We're going to be concentrating on what's next in this world.
And that is the Backlash.
Exactly. So we open up the show with the much teased, much hyped debut of the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. And
who do you have him in the ring with?
Al Snow.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I had in my head. That's exactly what I had in my head. I love
why
it.
I had Al come out last
Oh,
week.
and I said in my head too. What does everybody want?
Hey.
Oh, that's good stuff.
But Al Snow comes out. He's feeling himself. He said, "It's my time. It's my time." Brock beats him with an F5 in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And this is no knock on Al Snow. I love Al Snow to death, but you got to put Brock over strong, especially this early.
And the thing is that Al Snow even knows, like, he's running OVW right now.
Yeah.
And he knows that you've got to focus on the future. And there's no bigger future than the next big thing, Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
Whether it's, I mean, heck, part of it, he's still one of the top guys. And back then, he was for sure being made the guy.
Yeah, he was being groomed. Like, if he never left, like I feel like his world title reigns would have probably been the same. Like, because they kind of smashed.
I have this vision in my head of John Cena never breaking past the mid card if Brock Lesnar never left the company.
That's huge.
So the first title defense that Brock had after he won his second world title at Backlash, this is a year down the line, but still. Was against John Cena.
John Cena.
And John lost. I mean, this is rapper John also, but still.
I'm about to say Thugonomics.
Thugonomics, exactly. But he lost decisively against Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar was such a dominant force. So I have this thing in my mind, like, I don't think Batista could be stopped, and I don't think Randy Orton would be stopped, but I think John Cena may never have been John Cena if Brock Lesnar never left the company.
Wow.
Just personally speaking.
I mean, who knows? We'll never know.
Oh, exactly.
We'll never know. And honestly, I wouldn't want that. But, because, yes, John's had some moments where, okay, he probably shouldn't have won that match. But I feel like it's good. Like, look, because I got into wrestling because of, Rey Mysterio and John Cena. Mm-hmm. Those are my two guys. So I feel like without them, I don't know what kind of wrestling fan I am.
For sure.
So, and this is just me growing up with them. So that's probably the bias there. But
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So, like, you could make the same argument for your feelings toward John Cena, how I felt about Sting growing up. Mm-hmm. So, Sting,
the icon,
could have done no wrong in child my mind. Like my child mind, Sting could do no wrong. As an adult, I see he was kind of a dummy a lot.
Oh, he was an idiot.
but little kid me didn't even realize. I was like, oh, you make all the right calls there, Stinger.
It's okay. It's okay to believe all your friends. It's fine.
Even though they always stab you in the back.
Every single time. Oh, no. But
yeah, I love that booking, by the way.
But yeah, so he beats Al Snow quick as a snap. Like before JR could even announce who he was, the match was over.
He's got all those accolades to talk about. He can't even do it.
Yep. So the rest of the time is filled by Paul Heyman hyping this man up, calling him the next big thing, calling him my greatest find since Van Dam or something like really something that puts over Brock and Van Dam.
Let me give you a little bit of the assist, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So, as I said, leading into the existence of Alpha Entertainment Worldwide, Steve Austin didn't want to lose to Brock Lesnar because there was no storyline behind the loss.
Exactly.
But Paul Heyman working with Lance Storm, Mike Awesome, Big Quiche, The Undertaker, Steve Austin, and Rob Van Dam with the Most Dangerous Alliance. And then immediately upon the disintegration of the Most Dangerous Alliance, getting himself aligned with, I love the next big thing, but I would also love if we called him the Most Dangerous Man.
Ooh.
The next big thing, Brock Lesnar. Because, A, he is a very dangerous man, and B, it's just a dig on his old crew.
Yep.
And so I would love for Paul to say, we had an extreme technician. This guy can out-wrestle him.
Ooh.
We had the whole effing show. This guy's a bigger show.
Ooh.
Now, maybe you can't say that because a Big Show's still in the company, but
oh yeah, that's right.
This guy's going to take over the whole show. There we go. Well,
that works.
We had a bad man. Well, there's nobody badder than this man right here. Basically, have Paul put Brock over, bigger than everybody that was in his faction, but I would make one exception to that. I would not bring up the name Steve Austin in the promo. But not because Paul believes that Steve is bigger than Brock, but because Paul thinks Steve's not worth talking about. Like, you let me down, kid. I believed in you in ECW.
I was the first one to believe
I
in
called you so when Steve comes out and he what's up the crowd, I can't book Josiah's show, but
he was coming out, so yeah.
In my world, when Austin comes out and he what's up this crowd, Paul, he can say to Steve, he's like, who was the first man to call you when Eric Bischoff FedExed you your pink slip? It was me. But you let me down, Steve. He's like, you lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You lost the world title to Chris Jericho. You couldn't keep the Most Dangerous Alliance together, but it's okay. It's all right. I've got the Most Dangerous Man. I've got the next big thing. I've got Brock Lesnar.
There it is.
It's exciting. It's like, oh, there's no story. Well, you ain't got that excuse now, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, and so I'm glad you said all that because I was gonna make up that promo as we go, so you saved me some time.
All right.
Yeah, there's literally nothing out. Like Paul says his piece and then says, Brock, let's go. And Steve Austin, for the first time in his career, doesn't stun anybody. He doesn't say anything. He just stands there and he's got this reflective look on his face.
I like it.
And then cut to commercial.
Yes.
The
The reason that's impactful is because he doesn't
do that.
It's not his. That's not his thing, and so it'll help put over Brock without Brock even having to touch him.
I'm about to say, he didn't have to touch him, didn't have to say anything, which is great because I don't think no one knows what his voice sounds like yet. That's literally the only thing. Like, if you just listen to Brock Lesnar's voice without looking at him, you're like, I can take this guy in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him, I'm like, I cannot take this guy in a fight.
Do you know that Mark Marrow, when he found out his wife was cheating, he's like, I'm gonna take this guy out. He's like, I'm gonna beat him up so bad. And then he sees Brock Lesnar. He's like, I just got some forgiveness. I just had this overwhelming.
I found the Lord.
I just had this overwhelming desire to forgive.
Forgive and forget, man. Is it really that big a deal? I don't think it is.
Nah, I think you made the right call there, Brock. I think Rita should be yours.
All you, man. All you, big guy. I'll find somebody else. Thank God.
I will be happy alone.
Oh, Lord.
That was good stuff.
But yeah, all that opens my show.
Jesus, so good.
Oh, man. Next up,
I love this show, by the way.
Oh yeah, this is a ball. I'm having a ball with this, man. If you can't,
I think that's gonna be the longest show of the channel's history.
Oh, big time. Next up we have so that was the opening match. Next up we have a backstage segment announcing the first match for Backlash, which will be a #1 contenders match for a future Alpha Entertainment Worldwide Women's Championship match.
Okay.
And the two competitors that were selected were Trish Stratus.
Is Mick doing this promo?
Yes.
Okay.
And Lita. Sorry, I really should have added that.
No, it's
promo.
okay. It's okay.
Just assume if I'm talking that Mick's talking.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yep. But and Mick makes that announcement. Trish and Lita come on and they talk about how impressed they were with Jazz and with Molly's match, and that they're gonna try and make that same magic, but then bring the focus back around, because you got to give them genuine props of like people can acknowledge the greatness that was that match, but then also focus back on. But I'm gonna be the greatest women's champion. That's the only part of Jazz's speech I didn't agree with. That's the only part of the mission statement that isn't accurate.
Right. Well, can I make a suggestion?
Please.
So how many Raws are there between now and Backlash?
2.
I would love, personally speaking, if Molly Holly interrupts this segment with Mick, Trish, and Lita and says straight to Mick, thank you for your opportunity to face Jazz for the title. Before these two women wrestle each other at Backlash, I would love the privilege to wrestle each of them on the road to Backlash. That way that you can put over Trish and Lita on the way to the show, and Molly can raise both their hands. She can show the love, and we know that they can all three have great matches on the road too.
Yeah, so we just have random great matches
Yeah.
just for fun.
Yeah, and that way that it keeps everybody on the show and things progressing.
Exactly. Well, with all said, I'll have her face Trish this week and Lita next week.
Sounds good.
Cool. And then what was the last thing I wanted to book for the night? So Rob comes out, has a hardcore title defense, and wrestles.
You mean United States title?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. It's all good.
Good stuff. And he wrestles Hardcore Holly. That's why the mix.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep. But retains his U.S. title against Hardcore Holly. It was hard hitting, but Rob won, and Rob's celebrating with the crowd. Everyone's going wild. He's doing the pose, and then the lights get out. And then when the lights come back up, his old buddy from ECW, Raven, is in the ring, and he hits him with the Raven effect.
Yes.
And lower third in the corner. That's the show. Raven's hitting the pose. Quote the Raven nevermore.
Can he take the title home with him? Walk off with the belt?
Yeah, it sounds like a Raven thing to do to me. Yeah.
So as the lower third comes up, I would love for Raven to grab the title, throw it over his shoulder, not look at the camera, walk away with the title being on his back and him walking out.
I was about to say that sounds like a Raven move to me.
I love this show. You've got great promo from Paul and Steve.
Yep.
You've got the great promo between all the women along with the great women's match in that main event. Setting up just dudes I love. I mean, my goodness. And you talking about Hardcore Holly versus RVD.
Yeah.
It gives me the best of times from WWE's ECW.
Mm-hmm.
There were very few, so it's not that
I
hard.
say there's only 4 of them.
but still, that's good stuff.